What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Sicky TV, and today I'm going to be quickly going over a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus and the LG G6. These phones were LG's and Samsung's flagship phones for 2017, the first ones to come out for 2017. Now, as you know, we got the LG V30 coming out and the Galaxy Note 8, which would be the last phones for these companies as far as flagship goes. So let's go ahead and jump down into it. We're going to be going over some of the specs a little bit. I've gone over the specs plenty of times on the Galaxy S8, and I'm going to be going over the comparing the two as far as differences and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and jump down into it. As far as screen wise, they are both different in screens. The LG G6 has a 5.7 inch IPS LCD display, and it was one of the first phones to come out with the 18:9 aspect ratio, which means it is longer than it is wider, and it supports Dolby Vision HDR10, and it has always on display. As you could see, the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus has a 6.2 inch Super AMOLED display with the QHD Plus. Supports everything else. Gorilla Glass 5 on the Samsung, Gorilla Glass 3 on the LG, and that pretty much means that the Samsung is more durable against drops. It scratches kind of easily. The LG G6 is more durable against scratches. It's a little bit harder, and it's still durable against drops, but as far as scratch wise, the Samsung does scratch a lot easier. The always on display on the Samsung is a little bit more intuitive, and it provides more information on your screen, only because it is an AMOLED display, while the LG is a LCD screen, so it can't always have too much information, or else it'll drain the battery, because it pretty much runs the entire screen just for that display. So that's the screen right there. They both do the 2:1 aspect ratio. Samsung screen's a little bit bigger. They both have the little rounded edges and the rounded corners. As far as operating system, they both have Android 7.0 Nougat out of the box, ready to go. I believe Samsung is going to get updated to 7.1. I'm not sure when, or if it has already been. I'm not quite sure on that, but both similar looking UIs as far as settings go and stuff like that. The LG, you could have it to where it's a list settings to do list view. Samsung as well. They're both very colorful and very intuitive as far as your settings and stuff like that go. The Samsung, you can hide the nav bar as far as going into certain apps and stuff like that, so that's a cool feature that you can add to hide the nav bar, while on the LG you cannot hide it, but you can add more features to it as far as bringing on your notifications and taking a screen capture shot and all that. As far as processor wise, the LG G6 is having the Snapdragon 821, which is an older processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 32 gigs of internal storage. That was one of the features I did not like about the LG G6, was the storage. It does have micro SD card expansion though. The Samsung Galaxy S8 has a Snapdragon 835, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 64 gigs of internal storage, which is a little bit better than the LG. Also has micro SD card expansion. I'm going to go ahead and lower the brightness on these bad boys. That way they're not so annoying on the screen. The G6 has the Adreno 540 GPU, while the Samsung has the Adreno 530 GPU. It's vice versa. G6 has 530, Samsung has 540. As far as the cameras go, the LG G6 has a dual rear-facing camera. On the back, you have your regular lens, and then you have your wide-angle lens. And the wide-angle lens allows you to catch more into your field of view. So this is wide-angle, and then regular angle zooms in, wide-angle zooms out, which is really, really nice feature. I always like that feature. It's going to be the same thing on the LG V30. The Samsung has a 12 megapixel camera on the rear. Nothing too special. It's almost the same features as the S7 and S7 Edge and stuff like that. You got filters and stuff like that you can put on the bottom, and you also have your manual modes on both these cameras. If we go over here, you can go into Pro mode, and on the LG, you go into where is it at? You should be able to go into manual mode. Let me get back out of here. Mode, go into manual, and they both give you a bunch of different options as far as, you know, your white balance and stuff like that. So that's really nice. A lot of phones are including manual mode, so that's really cool. The LG V30 is going to be really exciting to see because that has a whole bunch of different filming modes and picture mode and stuff like that. So other than that, the G6 has a 5 megapixel front facing camera, while the Samsung has a 8 megapixel front facing camera. Battery wise, the G6 has a 3300 milliamp battery, which is also the same size that's going to be found in the V30 and the Galaxy Note 8, which is crazy because it's such a small phone. It runs great on here. We're very excited to see how it runs on the Note 8 and the V30 since it's a smaller battery. The Galaxy S8, as we all know, has a 3500 milliamp battery, and it runs really well. You get a lot of battery life on it, so you're going to get a little bit more battery life on the S8 than you would on the G6. Both their UIs are very intuitive and very snappy. The LG, they both have their forms of skin over them. Samsung has its Experience, LG has its UX UI, or whatever the hell it's called. They're both really good. Not quite as good as stock Android, but they're really good. LG and Samsung have really toned down their UI a lot to make it a little bit more quicker and snappier. They both have USB Type-C charging ports at the bottom. The LG G6 has Bluetooth 4.2, while the Galaxy S8 has Bluetooth 5.0. The colors on the G6 is Mystic White, Astro Black, and this is the Ice Platinum. While on the Samsung Galaxy S8, you have Midnight Black, Orchid Gray, this is the Arctic Silver version, and you have the Coral Blue version as well. Other than that, these are really two good phones. The best phones as far as earlier this year. Now we got the V30 and the Note 8 that are coming out. So these phones are sadly going to be going and degraded as far as being really good phones. They're still really good phones. I suggest you pick them up, as far as just depending on which one. If you prefer the dual rear facing cameras and that wide angle, as if you don't care about that, then I get Galaxy S8 Plus. If you need more storage, get the S8 Plus. If you don't care about storage, you're just going to slap a 256 gigabyte memory card, then go with the LG since it's got less storage. But two really good phones. I just wanted to do a quick comparison on the two just to show you how they look. And let's go ahead and go over design wise. At the bottom you have your ports. On the LG G6 you have your micro USB Type-C, a speaker, an antenna line, your microphone. On the right hand side you have your SIM card micro SD card tray. On the top you have your headphone jack, another mic, a couple antenna bands. On the left hand side you have your volume rocker, and on the back you have your fingerprint sensor, which is in a lot better place than it is on the S8 Plus. It's right in the middle, and you got your two eyes up here because it sort of looks like a little robot, and your flash in the middle along with your G6 logo. On the front you have your front facing camera, a couple of sensors, your speaker, and then the LG logo at the bottom. On the Samsung Galaxy S8 you have your haptic feedback home button, which is sort of pressure sensitive. You have all your sensors, your flash, your IR sensor for your face recognition, your iris scanner, your scanner, and your speaker. On the bottom you have your headphone jack, USB Type-C, your speaker, a mic. On the right hand you have your power button, top, SIM card tray, micro SD card tray, microphone. On the left hand side, volume rocker, Bixby button, fingerprint sensor, camera, heart rate sensor, and your dual tone flash, along with the Samsung logo, Galaxy S8 logo on the back. No branding on the front whatsoever. So it looks a little bit cleaner than the LG does. Also, the screen is a little bit more curved on the SA Plus because it's got the edge features, while on the G6 it's flat, completely flat, more of a boxy feel. The back of it is curved and you have no camera bump, while on the Samsung you have just a little bit of a bump, not really anything serious. It's still pretty flush, but they both have Gorilla Glass on the front and on the back. I believe this is Gorilla Glass 4, Gorilla Glass 5, Gorilla Glass 3, Gorilla Glass 5. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and give me that thumbs up if you found this video useful. You got any questions, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.